Okay, we're back. We are now going to take a look at what I consider probably one of the best CD box sets that RCA ever did. Now, in the early 90s, Ernst Jorgensen put together all of Elvis's 50s masters together for the first time on a CD box called Elvis, the Complete 50s Masters. The box set gained critical acclaim and launched Elvis's LP catalog into the 90s, releasing almost every RCA original LP vinyl release on CD. This is Elvis Aaron Presley. This is the CD version of the 8 LP box set that came out in 1980. And what's cool about this is it's nice and compact. It has a nice sticker on it. And you open it up, and all the CDs are in there. And the book that came inside the album, they kind of reconstructed it so that it would fit inside here. So again, it's kind of like you got this book and you got these pages here. It's kind of hard to see, but all 8 albums are on 4 CDs. I think out of all of the box sets that came out, and there were several, which always seemed to coincide with an anniversary. One was called Today, Tomorrow, and Forever. Another one was called the Platinum box, I think. But they were always like this. They came out like books, and the CDs were in there, and there was a book in the middle. But this one is cool because this is a kind of a reproduction of the box set that came out in 1980. So a lot of people bought this right away. I went out and bought it because there was so much material on here. When this box set was originally released, a lot of this stuff wasn't even out there. So I had to get it on CD, and I still listen to it today, and I love it. Then it was only not too long before they decided, well, if we're going to do the silver box, we're going to do the gold box. And here is a Golden Celebration, which I believe came out in mid-'80s. And this, too, had a lot of unreleased material, including concerts and Elvis at the piano, things of that nature, which were really great. And again, it has the CDs on the inside, and it has the book. And I can't show too much, but you can see the book in there, right? And then there's the CDs. So it's a very cool package. Being the compact disc version of the LP box set, a lot of people bought it. So we have that. And those are my 2 favorite box set things that came out. Amongst, of course, the 50s Masters, the 60s Masters, and the 70s Masters, which were all great box sets in themselves. Although I think a lot of people agree that the 70s Masters box wasn't exactly what we expected because there was still some stuff that came out in the 70s they didn't put on the box. And a lot of people were kind of, wondering why they didn't do that. Instead, they put a lot of concert stuff and this and that, which led to another box set I think it's called Elvis in Vegas or in Las Vegas. And that is a box set similar to these. It's all Vegas stuff, all Vegas concerts in one box. But for that 70s box, I think they could have laid off on the concerts and just went with whatever 70s materials was left and just put it all on the box. But they didn't. We are now going to take a look at what I consider probably one of the best CD box sets that RCA ever did. And this thing came out, I'm not sure exactly when, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Well, not 4 or 5, probably further back than that. Let me say 6 to 8 years ago, not exactly sure. But this has got to be the greatest and best CD box set. The Elvis Presley album collection. Several years ago in Japan, they released all of Elvis's albums, in almost like a cardboard, like a mini album. And they were made of cardboard. And I went crazy because it was kind of cool. They reproduced the album covers exact so that the front and the back looked just like a mini album, as if they'd shrunk it down. The only thing that was missing was the bonus photos and the stickers. That was the only thing. But I remember buying every single one of those Japanese CDs. And they came out in like 2 sets. And I don't think they ever completed the set because there were titles that were missing. I think Raised on Rock and some of the 70s albums weren't released. I can't remember the whole story, but I just remember that I didn't get the whole set because, number one, they were from Japan. They were hard to find. And then when I did get them, I kept waiting for the new ones to come out, and sometimes I didn't get them or they didn't do them. I guess this would be the back of the box, since Elvis has his back to us. Then we have, of course, the Elvis in Concert picture on this side, right? Then we have the 1254, Elvis's first album, all right, on the just below the title, all right, and then one more, and then we have, oh wait a minute, look at, it's like my shirt. Hey, how cool is that, huh? All right, and no, that wasn't planned. Okay, so there is from Elvis in Memphis. That's the from the TV special. All right. So, what's so cool about this box? Why is this box so great? Most of you already know, and I'm telling you, if you're an Elvis fan, you don't have this box, shame on you. So here's what it looks like with the lid off. All right, now this is the book. It comes with a book, which is great, and lots of information in there about Elvis's career, about his albums and such. And these are all of Elvis's U.S. releases with 3 bonus albums. All right, so I got to show you these because they're so cool. First of all, let's go with the 1254. Now, here is Elvis's first album. It's just so cool. Look at this. It's just so cool because there's the album and there's the back. I mean, this literally looks like they shrunk down the actual album. And then if you open it up and you pull out the disc, you'll see that the disc has the original RCA logo, like was on the record. All right? That's pretty cool. All right? And I'm not going to pull all these out because this would take forever. But just real quick, here is, the second album. All right? Same thing, front and back. Perfect reproduction. Although this one had like 10 different backs, so I don't know which one they picked. There's that one. There's Loving You. All right. Again, this is just like the original. Now, then they went so far that they did the Christmas album. And look, check this out. The Christmas album. And you open it up, and there's the book. The pages, the photos of Elvis that came in the original Christmas album. Just the way it was. Just like that. And again, the disc has the original RCA Victor logo with Nipper. All right. So that was cool. Now, let me skip forward. And here is another thing. Now remember, this is every single album, right? So let me just go to some of my favorites now at this point. The Date with Elvis album, all right? And if you know, it opens up just like this. There's the inside of the album showing Elvis's release from the Army. And then here's the back, just like the original album, where it also has the release, I think Elvis's Army release date circled. Oh, maybe not. That might be the only thing missing there. Because on the album, they had the date that Elvis got released from the Army is circled on the calendar. All right. But here's what's kind of funny. Originally, when this came out, it would come out like this, and you were to hang it. I guess you could hang it on your wall, and there was a little hole that was on the album, and the hole isn't there, but they put a little like a little imaginary hole, like a little circle, to show you where the hole went. So that's kind of neat. Elvis is back. Gatefold, same thing. There's the Army stuff. All right, same thing as the album. Picture of Elvis on the back and the front. For those of you who know this album, this is It Happened at the World's Fair. Front and back. The bonus photo. They actually reproduced the bonus photo that was given away in the record stores when this album was released. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I saw it, because I remember getting this set, and I just was, minding my own business, looking at all how cool it was, and then all of a sudden the bonus photo fell out. And I thought, wow, that's so cool. Now, of course, this bonus photo never came inside the album, but at the record stores, you could get it. Now let's see. I don't know. Did Girls, did they actually... Let's see. Did they put the calendar? Oh my God. Here's the actual calendar that came inside Girls. Do you believe that? And the back, and this is the LP, the album back, because those you collectors know it came with a 45's back and an album's back. But again, here it is. This was inside Girls. So this, I could show you every single one and have a ball doing it, but I'm not going to waste your time. The great thing about this is every single album that had a bonus photo, even up to Elvis in Memphis, which is, again, on my shirt, from Elvis in Memphis. Even Elvis in Memphis has the bonus photo, which is cool. And they did that for every single album. I mean, if you want to talk about complete, this is a great reproduction. And then look at the color of the label. It's the orange RCA label, exactly as it was released. So that's that. Again, this is just cool. And another thing they did, I love this thing. I'll show you another thing they did, which is so cool. Here is from Memphis to Vegas, Vegas to Memphis, right? There it is, the front and back. But this is a gatefold cover, just like the album. So it's identical. As a matter of fact, you might see the album behind me. There it is. I'm speaking in the mic. I probably just blew the mic out there. Okay. And if you remember, this came with 2 photos. So let's take out the CD and see if the 2 photos are in there. Uh-oh. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, they are. There they are, the 2 bonus photos. And actually, those of you who know this album, actually, it came with 2 of 4 photos. These are the 2 they chose to put in there, but there's the bonus photos that went with this album as well. Very, very cool. When this set came out, I just freaked out. I loved it. They even did the Camden albums, which is kind of cool. They didn't do a couple. I think Burning Love and Separate Ways they didn't do, which is okay because all the stuff on there is released elsewhere on these discs. So it was almost stupid to do that. But this is Let's Be Friends, front and back. And again, moving down the path, Aloha from Hawaii. And look what they did, folks. This is so cool. There's the inside of the album. And Aloha is, oh, here it is, right over my shoulder, right? Aloha from Hawaii. The history of that album and everything that happened when that album came out, I could almost do a whole show on, and I think I will. But when this album came out, it was rushed out real fast, so fast that on the back they put includes 8 songs by Elvis. Didn't even list what the songs were, which resulted in them putting a sticker on the cover, etc., etc. But what's cool is they actually made the very first cover and made it into a CD. So on the back it says includes the 8 songs never recorded by Elvis. And then to make it even cooler, they have the die-cut cover, which means that I think the sleeve can come out. There it is, the die-cut cover. See that? And of course, this is what the inner sleeve looked like that held the records on both. But this is only one CD. But I mean, they even went so far as to do a die-cut cover. I mean, that is so cool. It goes all the way through to Moody Blue. All right, front and back. Every album that had a bonus photo, with the exception of Gold Records 4. Wait a minute, did they? No, they didn't do Gold Records 4, did they? There's so much controversy about that photo. Okay, so the only album that doesn't have the bonus photo, there might be another, but for sure, the photo that was given away in the record stores for this album is not in here. So I showed you Moody Blue. So then it came with 3 other discs. All right, these are the 3 others. This is from the vaults. Okay, this is just extra stuff from the 50s. This is extra stuff from the 60s. And, of course, extra stuff from the 70s. And these are a lot of alternate versions, rehearsal jams, and things of that nature, okay? So there's that. Now, to make it the absolute best that this could possibly be, all right, the best, and this is why I love it so much, all right, I told you there was a book, right? And it's a great book. Look at, I can't show you all the pages, but it is thick. It's got a lot of beautiful pictures inside. It has promotional pictures of posters that hung in the stores. It's just a beautiful book tracing all of Elvis's LPs. Okay, and I think that's his award for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame award. Now, finally, the thing that makes this the best of all is right here. This is every sticker that came on those albums. All right? Every sticker. So, like, behind me, if you look, there's a Steamroller Blues sticker. It's a hype sticker on over here, right? And then I think, well, the new Raised on Rock has a sticker on it too, okay? There's a sticker there. But this is what is so cool. Not only does it have like all the stickers like this, but believe it or not, you can peel them off. They actually come off, and you could put them on the albums. Just like they were when they came out. Everyone, including, and here's the Aloha from Hawaii sticker I was just talking about, right up here. There it is. And the Moody Blue stickers down here. Every single sticker. They don't have Steamroller Blues, but whatever. But they went as far as actually make the stickers. And they peel off. I haven't done it. I am so tempted to do it, and I think I will one day. But it has the wooden heart sticker from GI Blues. It's just so cool. Everything they did with this box is so cool. Again, folks, this, as far as Elvis fans are concerned, if you do not own any CDs of Elvis Presley and you want the ultimate Elvis Presley package on CD, this is it. It has every single album, as you know, with the bonus photos and the stickers. And if you want to, you can put the stickers on the albums. So incredibly cool. So there's that. While the most popular physical format continues to be CDs, with over 60 million sales, CDs declined in popularity by 18.5%, with a total physical CD sales dropping by over 15% in 2018, and it continues to drop. So much for the forever format. Because remember, when these things came out, they were indestructible, they were going to last forever, all right? But it's not happening. They are just going right down the tubes as far as sales. But here's the fun part. The return and rebirth of vinyl. Again, who knew that not only would CDs fall from grace, but that vinyl would return in the 21st century with a vengeance? As one of the more surprising comebacks of the digital age, vinyl album sales in the United States have grown for the 16th consecutive year. LP sales jumped by more than 50% in 2021, surpassing both digital and CD album sales. According to MRC data, 41.7 million LPs were sold in the U.S. last year, up more than 45-fold compared to 2006 when the vinyl comeback began. So there you go. Records rule. Vinyl rules. It's coming back, yes. And you can see it behind me, folks, and like it or not, my brother, I remember when I told my brother that records were coming back, you know, he just laughed at me and says, oh yeah, like records are actually going to come back. And he was making fun of me and, you know, like trying to say vinyl was completely dead and the cloud was the way to go. All right, so my closing thoughts on CDs. All right, don't get me wrong, I like CDs and I will continue to buy them as long as they are still around. I like the convenience of not having to get up out of my seat and flip them over to hear the other side. And I like the sound of the music recorded intentionally for digital listening, and even like the packaging in some cases. with the exception of the microscopic printing that goes with it. I have to admit, I'm a little tired of taking the CD, and I know I'm getting older, but I hate that. I mean, they print them so small, you need, a microscope to read it.
Magnifying glass.
A magnifying glass. Thank you, Michael. That's what you need, a magnifying glass. One of the viewers commented, "Whatever happened to the box?" And they're referring to, in the first episode, first two episodes of the show, I was talking about how whenever I went to Memphis, I always kept the more interesting and more valuable vinyl that I had in a black case. And I said that in the future shows, I was going to pull out the black case and pull out something interesting. So guess what? I'm going to do that now. And here we go. Here is the famous black case that I always take to Memphis with me. And this case always has the rarest of the rare and probably the most valuable. So let's open up the black case. I haven't done this in quite a few episodes, and I got some interesting things to show you. All right. Okay, number one is this album here. And let me move my case over here. All right. This album, I am thrilled to death. I got this yesterday. I got it at a store. And it was funny because they didn't know what they had. And I always love going into a record store and buying something when they don't know what they have. And especially when it's something that's worth maybe $300, okay? And this is it. Now, your first reaction would be, okay, well, that's probably the rare one with the sticker, which I showed in the past, right? I'll show you the back, and you'd be wrong. There is no sticker on the back. Okay, so why is this so rare? Now, when this first came out, it came out on rigid vinyl, orange rigid vinyl, all right? And when it came out, there were two songs that had the incorrect songwriters. One of them was Words by, it said Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart, which is incorrect because it really was by the Bee Gees. And then the other one was Suspicious Minds, which was accredited to Francis Zambon, who, by the way, is actually Mark James' real name. So the story goes that Mark James saw this, according to a story he told when I saw an interview with him in Memphis a few years ago. When he saw that his correct name was used on the credits, he immediately let Elvis know, or the Colonel or RCA, and said, "You got the wrong name. I want to be credited as Mark James." I may got this story a little crooked, but I'm just going by memory. So what happened was they stopped pressing the first presses, which came with those two bonus photos that I showed you in the CD, and they put it out right away, like right after that, in 1971 on Flex vinyl, all right? And this is the Flex vinyl version. Now, right away, you know it's a Flex vinyl because the sleeve is a 1971 sleeve. So you can imagine how thrilled I was when I went and opened this up. First of all, I saw that sleeve, and as soon as I saw that sleeve, I went, uh-oh, that's 71. Pulled it out, went like this, uh-oh, Flex vinyl, and then the correct titles are on this record. Words is credited to the Bee Gees, and Suspicious Minds is credited to Mark James. According to Presleyana, and it was for so long, it was said that the incorrect titles of this album was the rare album. That was the one that was the most valuable because they got the song credits wrong. This one is rarer than the other record. All right, so this one here, if I'm correct, is probably worth somewhere in the realm of, I have to look it up, but I think it's $300 to $400 because you just don't find it. I mean, go and try and find it. Go on eBay. Do whatever you can. I mean, I've been searching for this forever. I've been doing this over 30 years, folks, and this is the only third time I've ever had this album. Third time. So that goes to show you right there that it, you know, because if you're an Elvis guy like me and you only seen this album 3 times, it is really rare. Hence the sticker that says rare. The rigid is nice because the rigid one does come with the photos, and also if you get it sealed, there'll be that green sticker that goes back here. All right. But the really super rare one, which is definitely worth 2 or 3 times more than the other one, is this one with the correct credits. Okay, so now I have another album to show you. And, yep, it's another copy of From Memphis to Vegas, Vegas to Memphis. And I got an interesting story about this, and we'll probably end up getting some comments from you and maybe some opinions from you about it, because Johnny B and myself, we have our own opinion about this. But let me tell you what happened. I was in a record store, and of course, I was looking for that album I just showed you. So I saw this in there and did what I always do. I go and reach in and pull out the record. And the first thing I noticed was the sleeve was the sleeve from the later 70s. So then I pulled the record out, and it was the black label. So I thought, oh, okay, because this album came out orange and then tan and then black, all right? So I went, oh, okay, that's cool. So I decided, all right, well, I'm going to look at the back, second album, and of course it again has the same inner sleeve. So I pulled that out to see if it was in as good a condition as the other one, and it's tan. And I thought, wait a minute, why is that? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. So I looked at the numbers, and the tan label is LSP 6020. So I went to this album, and this album is LSP 4428. So they don't match. They don't match. So my first reaction was, okay, somebody must have slipped the later black label International Hotel LP into the front, and then the tan one, maybe because they damaged the first one or whatever. But, I mean, I looked at the cover and everything, and you see the cover is beautiful. The sleeves are beautiful. They match and everything. And everything just looked perfect. So I went up to the guy at the store, and I said, excuse me, but do you know where you got this album from? And he said, it was definitely from a collection where a guy just wanted to, you know, sell the stuff, get it out of the house. So I said, okay, fine. So I went out in the car, and I called up Johnny B, and I said, John, I just found this Memphis to Vegas, Vegas to Memphis, where the first label is black and the second label is tan. And he goes, well, do the numbers match? And I said, no. And he says, Well, then he says, probably somebody just put in, you know, the black label reissue in the front. So then the debate started going back and forth, like, why would somebody do that? I mean, I know why they would do it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you're not a collector, and you overplayed the record, or it came damaged or something like that, it would make sense that you would replace it with the proper record. And if you're not a collector, you would just go ahead and replace it with whatever International Hotel record there was, right? So that means you would had to have had the black label reissue in your collection, or knew somebody who had it, and then you got it and you went to the trouble of throwing away the other record and putting it in. So the more we talked about this, the more it seemed more crazy that somebody would go to all this trouble just to replace that one record in the front. So then we started doing some research, and we realized that the black label reissues and the tans at the end of the tan run were about the same time period. So then I pitched the idea, what would happen if this was a factory thing? What if they decided at the factory that they were going from the tans to the blacks, and they decided, well, you know what, we got some blacks, so let's just throw a black in the front. And then they put it out that way. And of course, the blacks didn't have the proper number, because they hadn't run the blacks of this yet. They were just basically trying to, you know, get rid of whatever they had in their inventory. And this has happened, folks, many times when it came to RCA. Lots of times they used the same cover over and over again, or in some cases they would put a different record inside a different cover, and there's all kinds of things like that. So I pitched that to John. I said, well, what do you think? And he says, well, you want my opinion? I wouldn't pass it up. You should buy it because there's two possibilities here, and it could be a factory thing. And so I bought it, brought it home, and I noticed that this tan label in particular, the black print on the label, and I don't know if you can see this, looks like it's not exactly printed properly. It almost looks like it might have been one of the last tans printed or something, because it's a little off. The black is not, the print is off. So the big question is this a factory, intentional factory thing that they did, where they put an International Hotel black with the tan of Memphis to Vegas? Or did somebody else do this? All right. My opinion is this is a factory thing, and I think John agrees with me. Even though your first reaction would be that somebody put the black in on purpose. But it just doesn't make any sense, because the record looks perfect. The guy at the store said it did not come from an Elvis collector, which, if you were a collector, you might do it. Or even if you're not a collector, you might do it. I don't know. But the whole point of it is it would take a lot of effort to find the black label and put it in there. Why would you even do that? I mean, the inner sleeves match, the record's in perfect condition. The only thing's missing is the shrink wrap. So my opinion is this happened in a factory. Does it make it super rare? Yes, no, I don't know. You decide. You tell me. So that'll be the fun thing you can talk about for a little while and put in the comments below. What is your opinion? Do you think it came from a collector, a non-collector, or from the factory? So don't forget to send me your inquiries and want lists to collectingtheking@gmail.com for pricing, shipping, and payment details. We have over 1,000 Elvis 45 CDs and LPs in stock, as well as RCA promotional items, sheet music, authentic Las Vegas and tour souvenirs, and more. We don't have a list or catalog available, which is why we encourage you to send inquiries and want lists. If we don't have something you're looking for, we might be able to find it for you. So don't forget to contact us at collectingtheking@gmail.com.